Welcome back. After a little bit of a hiatus, we're back for season 2 of Repressed Humor Issues. I'm Euro Papa. The juice is loose.
And I'm the great Dan, rememberer of chords.
Rememberer of chords?
Yes. See, he's already going to try to deny the fact that one of the reasons that we haven't recorded in a while is we were together in Sweden. I don't mean together as in squeak, squeak.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. I know what this is. Oh, you're an asshole. Okay. All right.
So
it's my fault.
We had a plan to tape. We had a travel microphone that Ryan owns that was supposed to be our source of recording material. That he forgot the effing cord for 4,000 miles away or 2,000 or however far it is away from where.
Yeah, I actually never looked that up. I still can't find the cord though, by the way. I have looked. So now
that just makes everybody that's listening feel so much better that they missed all of the Swedish frivolity because you can't find a cord.
I will say my voice was pretty tattered over there.
And you want to explain why?
Yeah. Okay. So, went to the Eurovision Song Contest and proceeded.
For those of us in the US, that's the thing that we don't care about.
Everyone should, though. It's incredible. It's cheesy on purpose a little bit, but it unites people by music. And there's controversy, but we don't have to get to that. But juiced is innocent.
But we will.
Yeah. But went to Sweden and celebrated the Eurovision Song Contest physically in person, went to the second semifinal and also did watched the rehearsal of the finale and then did a watch party for the actual finale. So every night was filled with screaming, joy, dancing. I was so responsible because I then the next week had our big conference in the same city. And I also had to present a keynote. So
you're skipping over some stuff.
I'm not.
What happened in Max Burger?
Oh, I met the winner.
Yeah. He's forgetting that the winner was slumming in a Max Burger and ran into Ryan.
And I was in my red glitter jacket, which was nice representation of Switzerland, and then met the Swiss singer, ordering, I think, French fries or something like that. So, incredibly pleasant
Max Burger, and the fries aren't that great.
No, but when it's like you're crazy hungry, because we did, was that the rehearsal of the finale? They fed us there because we had better tickets, I guess. But the food was like, sorry, Sweden, but the smoked herring shouldn't be served. Just stop it. Like that's not something that I want on a buffet. But that was one of the options. But everything was like these tiny little finger foods. And I'm like, how am I ever going to fill up on this stuff? And only half of it was like stuff I'm like, yeah, let me actually have that. And then there was like soft serve ice cream and beer. So we emerged out of that voraciously hungry, all of us, and happened to go to the Max Burger before the after party.
Yeah. And what did I get at like 2:00 in the morning Sweden time from you? The picture with the text with you standing with, his name's Nemo, right?
Yeah, Nemo.
Yeah, I get a freaking text with him with the picture of the guy, and I don't give a damn. I really don't. It's not my kind of deal. America's Got Talent, The Voice, all that sort of stuff just annoys the fuck out of me because there's now I will say Max Burger, if you ever go there, okay, the fries suck, the burgers suck, the drinks are whatever, they're fountain soda. Um, if it's the only thing available, then do it. But if there's any other option, if Burger King is still open, go to Burger King in Sweden.
You know what place is really good? I don't know if you've eaten there. Is the Doner Kebab place in that square near the office?
The first time I was in Sweden, the first time that I ate was at that place.
It was like the only thing open one time in the winter when I went there, and it was just like it was super comforting. It was great. Yeah, all of it was awesome.
That was the first place that I had shawarma because they had Shawarma King there.
That's
Um,
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then Bishops in Arms, I actually went back there for the fish and chips another time. Those fish and chips were damn good.
I have never been to that establishment ever.
What did you do?
So, a former colleague of ours, we this is just kind of a stupid moment. We'd been out with other colleagues, and we were staying at the same hotel, one that we all always stay at, and went in there. We were a little half cocked, not crazy, but probably each had like 3 beers in us, and we were like, "Oh, this place." We bypassed the beer, and our eyes went up, and we saw the whole wall of scotches, and we were like, "Oh, what's this? We've never seen any of these." And the bartender very nicely educates us that these are all Swedish scotches. So we don't bat an eye, and we order a flight of, I think it was 8 each. Uh, we spent $350 each in Sweden, which is
So the
actually hard
worst
to do.
the worst part is when you get that bill and you see 3,600.
Yeah, yeah, the sec. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, the
The
Swedish
Swedish
krona is
kroner.
oh,
Yeah, it's about 11 kroner to $1. So
yeah,
every time you see the bill, it's the instantaneous shock until you realize divide by 11,
yeah,
which normally you divide by 10 and then just round. So,
yeah, yeah, I always just divide by 10, and if it's less on my bill, woohoo, great.
yeah, I remember the first time that I took the train over from Copenhagen, because when you fly into the southern part of Sweden,
Mm,
you don't fly into Sweden. You fly into Copenhagen in Denmark and then take the train across the sea.
yep.
Um, and the first time that I did it, it was 90 Danish krona.
Oh,
And
but their conversion's different.
their conversion's like 9 to 1. But still, I thought
Yeah.
I'm paying $90 to go on this train. Nobody's going to okay this expense. I'm screwed. I'm out $90 at this
Oh,
point.
you thought it was $90. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was $90. I didn't see that they also had it available in euros. I didn't pay attention. I was blindsided by the $90 that I thought I was going to be paying.
Yeah, I think what's also since we've recorded, you and I have actually been to 2 conferences.
Yes.
We also went to Chicago, which I think was the first time that we've seen each other in person in a year. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. Because the last time was the previous conference. So
That's
I think we
crazy.
mentioned it. I think we mentioned it at the end of last season, but I'm actually working with Ryan again, um, which is interesting because now our time spent on teams is actually work instead of the normal BS that we do.
I think what's interesting is that we've agreed on a lot of stuff,
Oh,
which is
don't get all sappy. Come on.
it wasn't sappy. It's an awkward, uncomfortable feeling. I'm not used to agreeing with you. We usually just bicker. Actually, while we were in Sweden, one of our colleagues actually said, "You know what? We should cancel the conference and just put the 2 of you on stage. I'd pay to listen to you 2."
Yeah, but then remember what happened with the dev team and how out of control that got.
Eh.
So here's the thing. There's times that I have no filter. And at the
Mm.
after party for our conference,
Oh,
um, my
that!
filter
Jesus,
my
God.
filter went away. And
Oh,
that we're talking about the most disgusting things that you could possibly find. And realize in a past career. We had 6 guys that we all sat in this office, and every Friday we had a show us the most disgusting thing you found this week. And somebody found on Urban Dictionary, and I've mentioned it before,
We
space
had a
dock
whole
fondue pot.
I had to read it on air.
Yes. So
Go back to
there were
season 1 if you wanna hear about it.
there were questions that came up about angles and number of people and
I had to walk
what had to
away
be
because you
taken.
all were analyzing the ever living shit out of that.
But my favorite part was when the quietest, most unassuming guy
Oh my god.
at the table, when we were talking about how could this get worse, said, "Well, what if I brought my dog?"
Mhm.
Yes,
Hmm.
and and it went from space dock fondue pot to space dock monkey fondue party. And it it bred a life of its own that eventually I had to stand up. I pointed at every single person at the table, said, "I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Love you all,
I
bye," and went and sat somewhere else.
I literally had to walk away from that conversation. And I was the most ridiculous person in the room as well,
With
because
your red sequin jacket.
oh, no, no, that was I wore the rainbow one to the party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
had
realize you
3.
had 2.
I actually have 4 now because one arrived, when I came back 'cause, oh, Amazon fucked up.
So just so you're aware, no. Just no.
It's
Nobody
amazing.
should ever own 4 of those monstrosities.
I found a new keyword to search for when I go back to Eurovision next year.
It's not face chains.
That was one of them. Um, I
Because
hope that I
again,
hope that
it,
showed up
it
in your algorithm.
in the way that Ryan always has to make my life a living hell, he told me that he was buying face chains and waiting for them to come in. And of course I had to go look up what face chains are. And of course I hated every single minute of it. Yeah, my wife saw them too and was not pleased.
She was enthralled.
That's not a word she knows, just so you're aware.
Well, but yeah, we 3 of us wore them. It was for a photo op, and we ended up getting retweeted by the artist that actually wore it in their or her music video. So it worked.
Congratulations. So,
Yep.
who burnt shit on stage?
What do you mean?
Somebody burnt something at Eurovision this year that got them into all sorts of trouble.
Oh, the Netherlands guy, Juiced. It's still no like what's today's date? May 28th. No one knows still exactly what happened because there's rumor that he made some sort of aggressive gesture towards an Israeli reporter, that he made one towards a Swedish photographer, that he was physically confrontational backstage, and no one's coming forward. The other rumor is that the EBU, the European Broadcasting Union, wanted any reason to get him out because, well, this is conspiracy theory territory. That he was set to just dominate, and they didn't want it to be a landslide. They didn't want the Netherlands to have the victory. We'll see. We'll see when all that comes out. But yeah, they
It,
did eject him from the competition. So I got to watch him perform in the second semifinal, and then for the rehearsal of the finale, instead of letting him rehearse, they just played his song with his music video on the screen, and then he was not in the actual finale.
and see, if it was me that was over there watching, I wouldn't have known nor cared the difference. All I would have wanted to see is the punches he would have thrown when they started telling him that he was done.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the backstage stuff is pretty minimal. That I mean, we also didn't get to see it in person. We're just watching the stage change hands for the next performer, and they do it all in like 2 minutes. It's wild. So all the cut stuff in between, the filler, we don't get to see any of that in the actual auditorium, but you get to
I
see how
thought this was
production done.
outdoors.
Huh?
I thought this was outdoors.
No, no, no. It was inside the Malmo Arena
Oh, okay. I
off
was not aware.
Highway. Yeah, I
Highly,
mean,
yeah.
with Sweden, you know how that goes this time of year. It's like it could be kind of cold still.
And the interesting thing was the entire week that we were there, it was perfect. The
It was
weather was
gorgeous.
amazing.
Yeah, we that might be the best weather I've had the entire time I've ever gone. And that was like, I think that was my ninth time to Sweden,
Yeah.
and I've had the worst weather going there. That was
Uh,
amazing.
That was my 14th time, and by far, that was the best weather. The windows could be open and it wouldn't be a problem, but they could be closed and it wouldn't be a problem. I mean, there's never really a good time for Malmo, but it was a decent time.
This was it. Yeah, I mean, we because I if you recall last year, us just walking outside the venue, it was like sheer wind and it was kind of bitter.
Yeah, it actually blew over some of the advertising, I remember.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Those big
Uh,
flag things that they had got all knocked over. So,
that's
yep.
exactly right. Yeah,
So,
but
so speaking of getting in trouble and doing a really bad segue because we need to talk about something else, the prosecution just wrapped up their closing statements in the Trump trial about a half an hour ago. I've been watching it on Twitter because obviously you can't see it live. Um, the fucknuts known as the maggots have been saying how great a job Trump did. He's not going to get found guilty, all that sort of stuff. Everybody that's anti-Trump was, oh, the prosecution did an amazing job. He's guilty, all that sort of stuff. Somewhere in between lies the truth. And if you've listened to the show, I'm not a big Trump fan whatsoever. Um, I had a Twitter account before it got banned that was called Insane Clown Pussy, which was reference to Trump. Um, I did. It was my way of having fun at Trump's expense. I did get that account banned, however, so don't bother going looking for it. Um, but you look like you're looking up tweets right now. Is there any new news we should worry about? Because I thought they were done for the day.
no, it says closing arguments wrap after 11 hours. The name game was concealment. Prosecutors say Trump benefited from falsified business records as the defense blames Cohen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Reading what I read from what Blanche said, because Blanche did all of the talking for the defense. It was all, it's somebody else's fault. It's somebody else's fault. There's no crime. It's somebody else's fault. They never really tried to deny what was actually presented. They were just saying Cohen lied. And the prosecution said, yeah, we know Cohen lied, but he had nothing to benefit from this. And then went for apparently about 5 hours just talking about all of the stuff that
This is Steinglass, is that right?
Steinglass, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
um, and referring to the Ted Cruz incident and stuff like that. The one thing that we can only read what's being tweeted out. The
Sure.
transcripts don't come out for a little bit while afterwards. But my favorite part of this entire trial was when they were reading out the insulting things that people were saying about Trump in tweets and getting them onto the record. And I had it before. I can't even remember what they were, but there was some really embarrassing stuff that they said about Trump that is now part of the permanent New York law record.
Wh- So, well, there goes my train of thought. Uh,
I don't. It didn't even leave the station. It was never in the station. You ran over a couple of passengers with that
there we
train
go.
trying to get it to the
Got it.
station.
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
Got it. So he still has the gag order in place, correct?
Yes.
So is does that prevent him from posting things on Twitter as well, or Truth Social, or whatever the fuck he's using now?
Everywhere. He's not even supposed to retweet or retruth anything that is hostile to
They
the
call it a
people.
retruth.
Yes.
Fuck me, that's terrible.
I've never been on True Social. I have no desire to. I see enough of the stuff on Twitter that people repost and make fun of him for. But yeah, they do call it a retruth over there. And he's not allowed to repost anything that would also violate the gag order. But the judge hasn't done anything about it in weeks, so it's meaningless at this point.
Hmm.
unless he said something about the jury, and then something could happen. But that jury's not going to take long. Either they're going to say, yeah, everybody just agrees he's guilty, he's done. There's a hung jury, which they'll go no more than 2 days, and they'll say they're permanently hung. Or they find him not guilty because the crime was so difficult to be able to explain, nobody understood it, and so they find him. They find him not guilty. Uh,
That's probably what's going to happen.
it's impossible to tell because um, there was a time where I think it was Hope Hicks was on the stand where she was saying stuff and 11 of the jurors were just shaking their head no, and one of the jurors was shaking their head yes. And it only takes that one person for the jury to be hung.
Hmm.
So you get one person that's either so blatantly for Trump or so blatantly against Trump. And I know which side I'd be on. I'd never make it onto that jury because of the side that I'm on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all it
Same.
takes is one person on those extremes, and the jury ends up hung. If it's hung, they get to retry it.
God. The
Yeah,
infinite loop of trials with this man.
yeah. But there's a guy by the name of Eddie Smith that posts on Twitter that every day he's been walking by the courthouse and talking about the throngs of Trump supporters that are outside supporting him. You know, they're at least in the 11s every day, and it's just hilarious. He's one of my favorite guys on there. Um, but yeah, this is going to be a huge shit show because if he's found guilty, he's going to appeal it for years. If he's found not guilty, then it's done and nothing happens until after the election. If it's a
But
hung jury, it throws everything for a mess because now
but
they
he
got to
can
go.
only appeal to so many courts.
Well, he can appeal the verdict to the district court. Then he can appeal it to the New York Supreme Court. Then he can appeal it to uh, actually, I'm not sure because it's a violation of federal election law. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure it can go all the way to the Supreme Court. So yeah, he can. This is Trump's mo. He's going to keep this tied up for 4 or 5 years, and by that point, a lot of if he ever for some reason gets elected again, he kicks out all those federal cases, but he can't stop the state level cases.
Mm.
But it's just going to make it that much more difficult to be able to say, hey, we're retrying you for this. There's a statute of limitations on it. The president of the United States has to be in court for 5 weeks. It's going to be difficult. It's going to put everything on pause.
And he is leading the polls right now, which is scary.
Well, that's another whole thing. If you've actually read how the polls are still done, because none of the great pollsters have figured out how to do cell phone polling, generally what happens is they're still calling landlines. And who
Oh
has
God.
landlines?
Yeah.
Old white.
Anyone 80 years or older, probably.
And who are they going to vote for?
Dumpster.
Yeah, yeah, the most racist piece of shit on the planet.
Hmm.
Although it was funny. Okay, so we'll get off this topic, but I don't know if you saw this because I know you were traveling, but Trump went to the National Libertarian Conference trying to
Oh yeah, I
gain
did. He
support.
got booed. He got booed
Well,
hardcore.
here's the fun part. They tried to put a motion in. There was multiple people that tried it that said something to the effect of "kick Trump the fuck out." Okay, there's literally libertarians putting in motions to have him kicked out of the venue, to not let him speak. So the Trumpettes or the maggots, whatever you want to call them, packed the front seats so that they would be the loudest for where Trump saw them. The organizers saw this and moved them all out, spread them out amongst the rest of the place. Um, I saw one thing. It's the best thing. I've seen a bunch of tweets on it. I think it's very important that we all realize this. If you don't like Trump, um, they were holding up those squeaky chickens and squeezing them while he was talking, and the
Oh.
Secret Service was coming and trying to confiscate them, and more just kept on showing up. They, they were trying to get all of the squeaky chickens and all of the kazoos away from all the people. it wasn't just they were booing him, they were trying to embarrass him to the point that he walked off the stage. He
He
didn't
never
walk
did
off,
though, right?
no, but he got angry and talked about, or you could just live with your 3 to 4% voting and never do anything with your vote. But that's your choice. If you want to win, vote for me. And the boos were even louder at that point.
Well, he also talked
Mike,
about the NRA, and it's like libertarians are not fans of the NRA.
they're not fans of a lot of things. And Mike Lee from Utah came out before and just literally got booed right off the stage. Like he eventually just gave up on the teleprompter, tried winging it, and when winging it wasn't working, he just left. And then afterwards, they were talking about how great it was and how Trump would have won the libertarian vote. But when they did the vote, Trump got 6 votes out of the 919 votes.
Ooh.
Stormy Daniels got a vote. Afro Man got a vote. That somebody actually voted as a write-in for Bend Over. I mean,
uh,
Trump,
uh,
the write-ins, there were 7 write-ins. Trump got 6 of the votes. The 6 other write-ins got the 1 vote each. Those other 6 people got as many votes as Trump. It was just a shit show. So,
well,
and my last thing on Trump, Mary Trump started telling secrets. She went on story time because she got on TikTok last week. And she started talking about this one time where Trump had mashed potatoes dumped on his head by somebody, and he hates mashed potatoes. So at this point, every single time I refer to Trump on Twitter, I now refer to him as Tater Trump.
so stupid. So stupid. You're proud of
Yes,
yourself for
it's
that, though.
incredibly stupid. It's so incredibly stupid. And that's the point. That's my vent session. That's all that Twitter is at this point. There's very, very, very little redeeming value in Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. For me. It's gone very downhill.
Oh, it went downhill a long time ago, before Jack Dorsey even sold it.
Yeah,
They were,
I agree.
but it was better than when the Muskrat took it over.
Yeah, it's bad now. It's really bad, but I
Yeah,
still use
and
it.
I can't even go to the for you section. I just go to the following section because the for you section is just a wasteland.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is. It is. I get the weirdest things too that I'm like, I've never even shown interest in this. Quit
And
trying to
the
entice
weirdest
me
thing
with
is
bizarre shit.
TikTok. I always go to the for you section. I just
It's
let it
great.
roll. Yeah, because the people that I'm following, because my daughter and I run a TikTok channel that's meant for 10 to 14-year-old girls. I mean, it's all, I'm not even going to talk about it because people will try finding it. But we have a demographic that we're working to, and it works well, and we stick within our demo. But that means if I look at what I'm following, it's all girls going through horrible stuff in their life, getting their first period, all that sort of stuff I don't want to know anything about. Okay, I'm there to feed my daughter's ego in this, not my own. I really don't want to find out what's going in the mind of a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, nor do I ever.
Yeah,
Uh, I know how my sister was at 12, and that was enough. That frightened me a lot.
yeah.
I was like, "Yep, I'm out of this house. Peace."
Yeah, wow. So what else you got for us today? What other topics can we butcher?
Well, I went on a little. So I was in Europe for, we'll call it 3 weeks. We'll call it 1 week for fun and 2 weeks for work. Got to go to Belgium though, which was my first time. I'd never been there. So I did imbibe in all the prototypical, stereotypical, whatever foods because I was like, all right, doing it. Throw caution to the wind. Now, I wasn't remembering that the day I returned from Belgium, I would have to 12 hours later turn around and pack and go to a beach. So I was eating like a goddamn heathen in Belgium, which does not bode well for any kind of beach body that I was aspiring to have, which I was not. That went out the window.
So no
But
gay abs is what you're saying.
Unless keg is ab. I
Yeah,
had
you had an
ab.
ab. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
By the way,
But
that's an Oscar from The Office joke, just so people don't think that I just made that up. Ryan's heard me say that to him before.
yeah. Um, but I was like, okay, I'll do the Belgian waffle. That was the thing I was like least excited for, to be honest, because I was like, waffles, waffles, a waffle, right? The fries. That's the star of the show. The fries of Belgium. I don't know what they do, but they're remarkable. Oh my god, I ate so many fries and
Okay.
Belgian beer.
So fries, which are pure starch.
Yep. Yep. I'm fully aware of how I was not doing myself any favors, but I had them
And
with mayonnaise.
ew, that's not what mayonnaise is for.
I,
Mayonnaise is for throwing out.
I agree typically, but I was like, I'm not going to offend the culture. I'll try it their way. Check the
Do they even
box.
have ketchup there?
Yeah, you had to ask for it on request though, and they kind of scoffed at it when I did, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, Jesus. I'll eat the
Did you
fucking
say it in that
mayonnaise."
voice? Please say you said it in that voice.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I groveled.
Yeah, I want you to go back there. I want to be at the table next to you and see what they throw at you when they recognize you.
Now, we got to go back a little bit. I have another little story from the trip, from the keynote, actually, the speech that I gave. It was a collective team effort, and I was just one cog in the larger machine. But again, my voice was shot. So I opened my portion of this with, I'm sorry for the way my voice sounds. I've been screaming like a little girl at Eurovision all weekend, which plays well to a European crowd.
That
Midway,
sounds completely different to a US crowd, just so you're aware.
totally. That's why I'm prefacing, I'm giving framing here. Midway through, it sounded worse on my side than I guess it did in the crowd, is what everyone said. But I thought my voice cracked because it felt like I did. So midway through, I'm like, "Oops, I guess I'm going through puberty again," or something like that. I made some sort of reference to that. But the star of the show was how I decided to use my really powerful brain, and let's use air quotes there. Um,
Oh, we can't even air quote that. We have to disclaim that. There's a big asterisk after it.
It's true. I should just get a tattoo on the forehead. Uh,
Oh, okay. Now we're talking. Okay. We haven't done this for a while, but everybody, please, repressedhumorissues@gmail.com. Send in your request for what you want Ryan to get tattooed on his forehead.
I didn't say I was going to do it. Jesus.
Oh, you said that you needed one. I think you need one. I think our guests think that you need one. Now we just need to know what it is.
I'll be curious if we get any good suggestions.
Yeah.
Uh,
So everybody, don't just do this a little bit. We got to take this full. Come up with some good stuff. Like if you just tell me you want a dolphin on his forehead, I'm not gonna go with that. If you want to say little baby, he gets little baby, but he gets it backwards so he can read it in the mirror. Now we're talking. Baby girl, that was it. Baby girl. That's what you called yourself.
you stole my thunder.
Oh, I know.
I did it to you one time. To be fair, in season one, I fucked something up. I can't remember what it was, but uh,
You fucked lots of stuff up in season one. You fucked up the introduction to season two because you forgot a fucking chord.
oh, I thought you meant today. I was like, I did it well. I actually thought about this.
Yes, I'm talking about when we were supposed to record it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a problem. But
Yes.
to finish my now long story, because derailed by tattoos, at the end, I said, thank you very much. My name is Ryan, or you can call me Baby Girl. Why did I say that? Obviously, a reference to the very first thing I said. But why did I feel compelled to do that? I still don't know to this day, because all that's happened I've gotten LinkedIn messages from people that attended the show. I had people walking up at the show saying, "Hey, baby girl, I have a question," or whatever it might be. And hearing anyone say, "Hey, baby girl," to me, it elicits a weird feeling that's dirty. But I did
Jeez,
this to
I
myself.
wonder why.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk about Chicago last year at that conference when your mind, air quotes, your big brain decided that it would be a good idea to say something to an analyst for a majorly known organization. Why don't you
Oh,
tell that story, baby girl?
yeah. Okay, okay. All right. Kind of similar circumstances, but I wasn't doing a speech that day. I was just running around like crazy. But I have this wool jacket from I think J. Crew or something like that. That is this multicolored plaid, and it's a nice jacket. I like it. It's anyway. The analyst, international analyst, has some in our realm of work has a lot of popularity, and she comes up to me and she goes, and we'd never met. We just got introduced that day, and she walks up to me later in the day, and she goes, your jacket looks like a sofa." To which I reply with no drinks in my system, "Do you want to sit on it?"
Literally, without taking a pause in between, that's what he responds with.
And then we were best friends from there forward. So fast forward again to this year, I I'm such a dipshit. I actually wore this jacket during my speech as well, and she comes up and she goes, "Oh, you wore the sofa jacket. You're so fucking hot." And I was like, "I see what you did there. You're an idiot."
Well, we've seen the picture, and we're not going to go into detail here because we don't want to out this person, but we've seen the picture. And I'm pretty sure if that woman was considered a celebrity, she would not be in your list of celebrities that you could beat up. I'm pretty sure
No,
she could take you.
no, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would not mess with her.
Yeah.
Mm-mm, nope.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm still Will Smith. If you ever listen to this, um, Ryan's thrown down the gauntlet. He says that he can beat you up. Um, please, whatever your thoughts were when you slapped Chris Rock, please throw all of that energy into the fight with Ryan.
look, hey, Will, come at me. Baby girl's ready. Let's go.
That just sounds so wrong. Baby girl
Oh,
is ready.
I have one other story from fucking
Okay,
our conference, but go
but we
ahead.
just found out our topic, our title for this one. Baby girl's ready.
It's not
Really,
the, but remember the other thing in Sweden, the chair.
I don't remember. Oh, Flamingo. What was it?
Flamingo fuck party or something like that. I don't remember.
Oh God, yeah. There was a chair in a bar that we were at that was made out of stuffed flamingos with like legs sticking out of it and everywhere. It's not like it was just the back. The whole chair was made out of this. It was
Yeah, it
just
was like little carnival flamingos that you get rewarded for winning like the squirt game to the that sounds terrible. Jesus.
How many times have you won the squirt game?
Eee. Ooh, I don't want to answer that one. But yeah, that
That's
chair, I
preceded by a sword fight, isn't it?
yes.
Yes, yes. You couldn't see his eyes. His eyes suddenly went to one side. I don't know if he was looking at a picture, if he was looking at his husband, but that
No,
was the should I answer this? That's what that was.
which was yes.
Yes, because you
That
can't
chair
stop
was
Ryan from saying something like that.
no, this filter's terrible. God. That but I do think that chair is amazing.
Okay,
Uh
so you had another story
oh,
before we get.
yeah. So this was a one of our colleagues tells this story very well because he was witnessing it happen versus me saying it. So we had a really great speaker, and she went out to a bar afterwards with the person that brought her, and that person who brought her is our colleague. And I hadn't met her at the show, but I wanted to introduce myself. So I walk up, and I'll just use first names. I walk up and I stick my hand out. Hey, Yolanda, my name's Ryan. Awesome to meet you.
The Yolanda incident.
The colleague, his face drops in horror, and she responds back, my name is Tanya. And I responded in maybe 0.1 seconds. Whatever, I'm gay. That was my comeback. And all of a sudden, she goes, me too. And then we were best friends the rest of the night. And our colleague was just jaw dropped, like, how the fuck did you do an about face on this woman who can also kick my ass, by the way? We're to the point that we have each other's cell phone numbers and we just text like memes to each other randomly. And that's the friendship at this point. So baby girl and Yolanda Tanya. She doesn't
Yolanda
know I'm baby
Tanya.
girl.
That's almost a tongue twister to say, isn't it?
I almost had trouble saying it. I felt like it not gonna roll off my tongue, but it did. So, anywho,
Kind of like a squirt game.
you little shit.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There was just a surprised look on Ryan's face. This isn't going to end well.
Well, and I don't have any ideas with this yet, but I have a feeling this could go somewhere. Instead of Squid Game.
Oh. Oh. No. We're going to get kicked off of every AI on the planet. I'm going to need a VPN to start this because otherwise all I'm going to see is gay porn advertisements on everywhere that I go.
Man.
And I mean, that's not a problem for you, but it's a problem for me.
It doesn't have to be. It could be special season 2 of Repressed Humor Issues featuring Squirt Game.
Oh, I'm half trying to find ways to make this work.
The Squirt Game. Yes.
Yes, we're not going to. So a couple of things because of the delays, because somebody can't find a fucking cord. We had a full plan. We had a full plan for over our break. We were going to record a murder mystery thing, and we're still going to do it. We're just, getting back into the swing of things after Ryan spent 3 weeks overseas. But we're going to do some stuff this season. We've already decided. There's the murder mystery thing. We were going to call it Squid Games. I think it's now going to have to be called Squirt Game.
Yes.
And somehow we're going to have to make that somewhat PG-13.
No.
Okay. No. Mature audiences only. There's a couple other things that we're going to do just as sidelines because realize we like doing the conversation thing that we've done for a while now. This is the first one where we didn't have a set topic to talk about. We're just generically talking because it had been so long, and people apparently like us bickering. So fuck you, Ryan.
Fuck you too. No. We bicker well, but it's always with a point. I'll say that. We always at least are trying to drive towards something better. No, it's not usually better. It's usually just debaucherous. Yes. Or it's just or we just bitch about cars.
We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of things going on with Cybertrucks right now that would be great, but you don't want to become Elon centric, so we're staying away from that.
I also don't want to float in the middle of a fucking river.
But here's one of the things that we're going to do, and this is going to be a longer term project. But you might remember Joe, who was in season 1. I believe it was episode 13, the wag bag guy. He's a car guy like me. Okay, I have my sports car. I've had lots of sports cars over the years. I've had lots of winter beaters and all that sort of stuff. And he brought up something that we're just going to do. If you've heard of the 24 Hours of Le Mans,
Oh, yeah.
it's that race that happens in France where they race for 24 hours. Well, in the US, they do something called the 24 Hours of Lemons.
Didn't we
Um,
talk about this in Sweden?
yes, yeah, with Joe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
That's why I
Joe
just
and
want to
I
get.
are so on board with this because the rules are that you can spend no more than $500 purchasing a vehicle, and then that vehicle has to run for the 24 hours. And there's three classes of vehicles. Class A is vehicles that will finish. Class B is vehicles that may finish, and Class C is vehicles that won't finish. Okay, and you get rated by the judges there in which class you go into, and you can sell non-safety or non-required to drive the car pieces off the car to lower your cost. So if you buy it for 600, you could sell off $100 worth of parts. Um, and they have these all over now. So we're doing this. Um, and I came up with a name that is about as offensive as is possible.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
we
offensive.
are going, it's offensive, but it's hilarious.
It's
Because
offensive.
because I don't know if we're going to get away with this or not. We're probably going to have to change it. But I've
Yeah,
decided that our team name is going to be the Tranny Fluids. And the
it's
entire
so
reason
good.
is
It's
it works on so many levels. We're gonna dress up in drag. I don't know if we have to have our fire suits or anything like that, but that the dresses will be on top of that. We're just gonna go all out on this one. We
and
also
this is in
decided
New
that
Mexico, right?
no, this happens all over. I found out that it's all over the entire U.S.
Well, but
So
none of
there's
us live near each other, so where are we going to do this?
well, so it really depends. We got to pick the one that we want to go to, and then figure out a way to get a $500 car there without it breaking down on the way there. I mean, there's lots of things that
Hmm.
this is all about, as Joe puts it, shenanigans.
There's
Okay,
one in
we're gonna put
Texas.
a bobblehead of Ryan. We're just gonna tape it lightly with Scotch tape on the car, and see who the first person after it falls off that gets out of their car to grab it, and then somehow the next time they come out of the pits have it attached to their car. That's our goal, is to have a Ryan bobblehead attached to somebody else's car.
Yeah, but I also, just thinking of this, want to wreak a little havoc. And if we're passing by somebody, I want to reach out the window and slap a dildo on the side of their car with adhesive.
I'm pretty sure that touching another car gets you instantly disqualified. Just so
You
you're
haven't
aware,
looked at
I've read
you
the
haven't
rules.
looked at the. Bah. What
I've
if I
looked through the
I
rules.
what if I throw it?
If you throw it, then I think what ends up happening is, first of all, because the dildo's in the car to start with, it counts as value towards the car.
But then do your outfits?
The outfits do not, because they are on you, they are not on the car. So you'd have to have like dildos strapped to whatever you're wearing.
Oh my god, I went to Crew de Vue in New Orleans a couple years ago. There was a guy with a suit, like a business suit, but made of dildos.
Yeah. So realize that
Hmm.
this is all about shenanigans. We're going there to try to figure out what we can get away with. We have no intentions of winning. We probably have no intentions of finishing. We're just going there for the experience. And I'm going to record as much of it as I possibly can,
Well,
because this is
oh,
going to
so if
be
it's
a
attached, oh, we could just get head cams
yes, yes. Um,
because that's not attached. I'm trying to think of things that aren't attached to the car, and then also get miniature rubber penises that have feet and eyes and hands, and throw those at people as well.
Yeah, see, this is where the whole I'm not sure how PG-13 they are there that we've got to figure out. I'm pretty sure when we put in our name is called the tranny fluids, that we're already going to be pushing a few buttons.
Oh man. we could be Mad
So,
Max style too.
oh yeah, the thing is, anything you put on the car adds to the value. Okay, so you put a decal that it has a name on it. Technically, that's advertising, and that adds to the value of the car. Okay, um, like I
But it's
said,
not
you
like
can
it's not like
sell off.
Demolition Derby, so you could take off the heavy stuff like a bumper.
I believe you have to have all safety apparatus, which a bumper would count as. So, but you could sell the back seat, you could sell the trunk lid. There's lots of stuff you could sell, and anything that is, brakes or steering or tires, you're allowed to replace those because that's just safety. And if you put a fire extinguisher in the car, that doesn't count towards the value of the car. But anything you do to decorate it or improve it is considered an added is considered added value. And here's what they do. This is the glorious part about this. They say make sure you diligently document every single receipt for everything that you buy on the car, or have a really good excuse how it got there. Because what they call the bullshit meter, that for every one that the bullshit meter goes up, you lose 10 laps off of your final score. So you could go with a $600 car and you'll end up losing 10 laps, but that $100 might be worth it. I've seen cars for sale that are specific to this on their board, that are $1,500 that people just figure you're losing 150 laps, but the car's going to finish the race.
But I have a lot of stuff in the storage unit that I'd like to get rid of. Can you barter?
What do you mean barter?
So, like, if I have a box of Funko Pops that I don't want, and we want a new transmission, could I say, I'll give you these
No,
Funko Pops if you no?
no. You have to have a
Mm.
receipt. And so it would be the value of the Funko Pops,
Well, oh,
which all of yours, I'm sure, are worth 75 cents each. But oh,
no.
and I saw TikTok. I forgot to send it to you. If you open up if you cut open the head of a Funko Pop,
That's not
there's
true. Not
actually a
true.
surprise in.
No, there's not. No, this has been debunked.
Okay, that's news to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm trying to find out
Have
my
you
value.
opened some? Is that what? Have you opened up some and found that out for sure?
Mm-hmm. My value is
Yeah.
$1,300, by the way.
Yeah, I'd love to have that $1,300, but I'm pretty sure that $1,300 is going to end up costing us 130 laps.
You want to know who is my most valuable Funko Pop presently?
No, but you're going to tell me anyways.
I will. It's Dorothy from the Golden Girls.
Wow.
47. Number two, Britney Spears. Do you want number three?
um,
I can give you number three.
sure. I'm
Steve
in this far.
Steve Zissou from Life Aquatic.
Never watched that.
Oh, do you like Wes Anderson films?
No,
Well, then you probably won't like it.
no, probably not. So I'm not going to watch it. My daughter wants me to get to watch Llamas and Hats. I'm not watching that either.
I
So
did just watch two very distinctly different films while on my flight home with the Norwegian hippie that was sitting next to me that was thought two seats were one, despite not being big enough for two. Anyway, I watched Parasite, the
I
Korean
didn't
film.
watch that.
Really
I
worth your
didn't watch that.
time.
I didn't see it on my flight. I watched Tenant again because I completely forgot that I watched Tenant.
Never seen it. And then I watched
Uh,
Barbie as well.
I've seen Barbie way too many times already. My estrogen levels are significantly raised from that movie, so I have to let it cool down for a little while.
It's a good
I
movie,
mean,
though. I was surprised.
the sensitive nipples are just getting to me. See, now I made it awkward.
Who? Wait, who? But whose? Ryan Gosling's?
No, mine. Duh, sensitive nipples. How would I know if he has sensitive nipples? You think I went to Brian
Oh,
Gosling and said, "Hey, I just have to ask, how sensitive are your nipples?"
don't ask me why this made my brain go here, but it did. You need to stop mailing me things.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so this is the thing. um, we've talked about this before. For some reason, Ryan's camera will not pick up his eyebrows.
Yeah,
So
I don't know
I,
why.
about what, 2 months, maybe 3 months ago, got him
Yeah.
to give me his address. All I said was, "Give me your address," and he gave it to me without thinking about it in the slightest, not realizing that shenanigans were afoot. And I sent him an eyebrow kit.
Yep.
And he obviously
Uh,
hasn't used it because his eyebrows still aren't showing up. But one of the running jokes that was going on while we were in Sweden, that I was not the originator, nor was I there when the start of this joke happened, was something about somebody's vagina being itchy because of the sand that was in it. So I borrowed
a
something off
man's
of Ryan. It was just
vagina as
an
well.
electrical adapter. What?
It was a man's vagina, just for clarity.
Yeah, whatever. But the point was, I borrowed something from Ryan. It's just an electrical adapter because I forgot mine. So I had to stay in Malmo longer than he did, so I needed the adapter longer. So I shipped him two new adapters from Amazon, um, with a little surprise. And what was that surprise,
Well,
Ryan?
the way you framed it though, you're like, "Hey, don't worry, the two adapters are shipping separately." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Didn't think anything of it. No, 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 no. There was not two adapters. Those came in one package in one box. Second package was a tube of Vagisil, which, like,
You have
and
nobody.
also,
You have,
like, my husband's standing there, and he's like, "Oh, hey, you got a package," and he hands it to me, and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't order anything from Amazon," and I open it. He's just watching me open it, and I pull out a tube of Vagisil, and he goes, "You have the weirdest fucking friends."
and now this is going to be a thing. This is going to
It's
be a
like,
thing. It's
no.
just randomly, I'm going to send Ryan weird stuff. I'm going to tell him it's coming, and I'm going to do what I did, where I only told like 17 or 18 people before I sent it that I would send
You
it.
so yeah, I had so many people asking me, "Do you get your package yet?" I'm like, "The fuck?"
Oh, just the, this is the stuff that, if you were watching on video right now, you'd see how red my face was just from
You
laughing.
were so fucking happy with this.
Oh, it was the best part was there was no way that you were expecting what came there. There's no way
No,
that you
no,
had any ink, and
because that was
that's the
just
best
one
part is
night that we
just,
joked about that.
oh, it came up a couple of those nights. Realize we were never back in the hotel before midnight any night that we were there. I was in the Friday night that I was there because I had to get up early to be able to go on the plane. Otherwise, I don't think I made it to bed before 1 o'clock any of those nights. So
Yeah, oh, none of us did. Not a single one of us did.
yeah, yeah. And
But
that last night when we had all of those people join us at Mellow Yellow, I mean, that was
oh,
a pretty raucous crowd we had there.
that was a big crowd. I mean, it was fun
Yeah.
though. I mean, it was yeah. I should have left when you did though.
There was people I did not expect to come out with us that came out with us.
Yeah, we had a that was a sizable group
Yeah.
of very mixed backgrounds.
Yes. Yes. And mixed authority levels in the company we work for.
Yeah, that's definitely what it was. It was like the authority levels. It was like, I don't know if you should be here, but okay, whatever.
Yeah. And now realize one of the things that I've been doing is every single person in the C suite or close to it, I've been telling them about this podcast. And Ryan hates me for it because I told
You
somebody
told
that works at the PE company that owns us about our podcast.
That's the one that, like, no, you didn't need to tell. But
Oh,
I
but I did.
like interacting with prospects and customers, and all of a sudden, in my other ear, I hear Dan going, "We have a podcast called Repressed Humor Issues," to the fucking PE firm guy, and I'm like, "Hold on, everyone, what are you doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know if he bothered listening to it, but he got a good laugh out of some of the stuff that I told him because everybody that I talked to when Joe's there, Joe just refers back to the introduction, the very first
oh,
episode
the very first, yeah,
when I made you say, although potentially inbred, which was
but
still the highlight of my life. I've had
I,
4 children and a grandchild, and that's still the highlight of my life. Was sitting here trying not to fall on the floor laughing as your face dawned on you what you were getting yourself into.
I think the other thing that like we need to stop traveling, because every time I'm getting a random message from somebody new saying, "Yeah, I listened to your podcast." I'm like, "Oh God, oh God, what'd you think?" Well, I'm on episode 6. I'm like, "You've listened to 6 episodes? Oh God, your colleague, you're
Yeah,
mild mannered, or
yeah.
so
The
I thought."
Swedish people, the Swedish
They
people
like
we
it.
work with, um, they they're they definitely have some repressed humor issues. You guys know who you're
Yeah,
talking about. Every single one of you fuckers listening right now that's in the Swedish in the Malmo office knows what I'm talking about. So,
they're good people
well,
though. I love them.
yeah. So, I think we should get close to wrapping up here.
Yeah,
Uh, realize we took it easy this time. We didn't plan anything. All of this has been off the cuff. We normally don't script anyways, but this was about as unscripted as you're going to get.
yeah,
But we are going to do some stuff. Like I said, you're going to see some new ideas that we're going to come up with. We're going to talk about some more controversial stuff. We're going to talk about some more stupid stuff. I'm going to send Ryan some just horrible shit in the mail, just whatever I get, because I have his address. I believe he still does not have mine. So
I don't think I
as long as
do.
I can
I
keep
was
him
trying to
away from
think
getting
about
it from
that.
my wife. Yeah,
I
I'm
have
pretty
it.
sure I've never given it to you.
I have it. I know how I can get it.
So we're Uh, oh yeah, that's right. Dang it, I
Hmm.
shouldn't have mentioned that. Uh-oh. Oh well, my wife checks the mail anyways, so she could just hate you more. So, but like I said,
Oh,
we're gonna do some
think
stuff. The 24 hours of lemons probably won't happen until next year. It just takes some time to be able to put that together, but we're gonna record that. Apparently, we're doing squirt games now, which just ugh. And we will get to that murder mystery because it's a story. I'm not talking anymore after seeing what I'm seeing because you guys may have just heard that, but I had to watch that bullshit just happen in real time. And I may cut that. That might be the only edit that I do because that was just, you had your mouth below the camera level. So that was not a good look for you, dude. Just so you're aware. Yes, exactly. Do you realize what that sounds like? Do you realize what that looks like? Yes,
uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Squirt
This is the reason
games.
why we've got to start doing this in video.
EA Sports. Squirt games.
God. EA squirts.
That's so much better. Damn it.
Okay, Ryan,
Oh,
get us out
all
of
right.
this hellhole we're in.
Yes, yes, yes. But all right. Everyone, thank you for joining us for season 2, our opener, our off the cuff opener. You can find all the information about us, all of our socials, all of our where we're streamed, emailing us at repressedhumorissues.com.
You can also submit your tattoo ideas. Please submit tattoo ideas. I want a ton of tattoo ideas.
Until next time, I am Euro Papa or Ryan.
And I'm Dan, the rememberer of chords.
Yeah, thanks. Until next time, y'all have a great day.
Thanks. Now, by the way,
Yeah.
squirt games, honestly, I have no
What?
idea what we're going to do with this now.
I don't
This
either.
this just went weird. And I mean, we're normally a little bit weird anyways, but squirt game, how is somebody going to win at squirt games?
Got to think of it. We'll think of it. I mean, think of like the different levels of squirt guns. It could be kind of like a Call of Duty, like zombie play on things, but with squirt guns. It's squirt game, celebrity edition. And Donald Trump could get squirted in the face by Celine Dion.
Oh, we're so gonna get sued. We're so gonna get fucking sued. Somebody else is gonna own repressed humor issues and my house at the end of this.
No. Just over squirt games.
I gotta learn not to let you go.